Hi guys.
Hello.
Episode 4. We're coming for more. Episode 4 at your door. How are we here?
What are you trying to do?
Put the phone over there.
I don't know. It feels weird to be doing an episode. Do you know what? I feel I got really confused earlier because obviously we released the episode on the day we record.
Yeah.
And I thought today we were recording episode 3. It's really confusing.
Yeah, it is. I actually agree with you there. I was like episode 3, episode 4.
Yeah,
it's becoming all mad, you know. And I've been really busy today. I'm not usually busy on a Wednesday. So I'd usually be on top of like posting that episode is out. So I actually did it a bit late today. Sorry guys, but I have put it up now. Episode 3. Episode 3 is now live. Episode 4 will be live by the time you watch this.
Well, yeah, because
oh goodness me.
Oh, God.
I've got issues, okay?
Already.
I've got issues.
Some issues, yeah. You're alright, really.
We're alright.
Oh, my knee just touched your knee and I didn't like it.
Okay.
I'm not a big physical touch kind of girl.
I know. I actually hugged Tyler the other day. I didn't give her a choice. I just went in for a hug and she stood there like,
To be fair, I did
You did
I
hug
did
back.
hug you back, yeah,
You
I did.
You did hug back.
But I'm not the biggest of...
But it was funny because the first time I ever met you, you did tell me I don't like hugs. It was like, you know.
Did I?
Yeah. It was like, you know, don't
Don't touch me.
touch me. You look like a hugger. I'm not a hugger.
You must have
Fuck
given
off.
off hugger vibes.
I probably came over to you with open arms. Come here,
I was
Tyler.
like, no. Fuck off.
To be fair though, I do understand, like, Connor's family are very much huggers and then like kiss on cheek.
Yeah,
and
so do
whatever.
Tom's.
So my family aren't. I've mentioned this before, my mum was brought up in care and like, you know, she's always been loving but she's just a bit like, oh no, tube like that because she never had it obviously growing up.
Yeah.
So when I met Con's family and they came in for like kisses and hugs, I was like, even now I try and run out the door sometimes.
Oh really? I've got used to it. I mean, my family do hug, but like I don't. It's like even seeing Tom's like Tom's nan, she'll like grab me and she'll like give me a
so
kiss,
cute,
and I'm
isn't
like,
it?
the first time she did it, I was like, oh God, what do I can't kiss your nan? But now I'm just like,
yeah. And I remember like the first few encounters, I'd look at his granddad who's really well dressed, very well spoken, if you get the gist, and he had makeup all over his shoulder and I'd be like, oh my
no.
goodness, do I tell him? Or do I just
Oh.
pretend someone else did it? Awkward.
I don't know what I'd do in that situation.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's why I hardly wear makeup anymore.
Yeah, I don't really wear makeup that much. I don't have to worry about
I
it.
try to, because as I mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm trying to hit the socials a bit more, and you know. But I do like to be transparent with the girlies, and they get to see my cold sore lips and my frizzy hair, and you know, mum life.
Well,
yeah. Right. So last week's questions, I thought we could quickly go over what they were.
Yeah. What were they? 2 lies and a truth.
Yeah, and then say what the lie was. So I read one out.
Oh yeah, what was the one that you read out?
Let me just find it because
Oh, it was
the condom.
the condom story, wasn't it? And then
Yeah.
it was the neighbour moving out and
Yes.
peeing outside someone's house and being watched.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
what did I say that I was going for? Oh, I can't remember what we said we were
so
going
the
to
first one, which was a condom came off during sex and got lost inside of me.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it out. Asked my partner to fish it out.
Yeah.
I thought my neighbour was a porn star or prostitute, so I wrote the landlord a 2-page letter on her loud vocals because it was impairing my life, and she moved out a week later. And I desperately needed a wee during a long drive and there was no toilet for miles. I pulled into a new housing estate thinking it was empty and it wasn't.
So I think I chose the condom one.
We did.
Yeah.
And we were correct! We were correct. Yeah.
Told ya.
Too many girls have been in this position for it not to be
Did
correct.
tell ya, it's
So,
too
yeah.
real.
I know. Isn't it funny though that like in some situations you can talk about those stories and we all know like You know, like when you watch the videos of girls shaving and the legs up here and stuff, and we all know we do that.
We have to do it.
I watched a boy on TikTok that once call us girls out for like pulling hair from our bum crack. You know, when you wash your hair and it falls in your bum crack and then you like pull it out. And I was like, who's been telling this man our secrets?
Oh God, I get so much hair in my bum crack.
Honestly, especially when it's curly. I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
clump curls, clump. So yeah. So obviously, us girls are very much in similar situations all the time.
I hope it never happens to you.
Me too. I really, really, really do not want any more children. Thank you.
Oh.
I'm already outnumbered and there's only 2 of them.
Is that it then? You're done?
I mean, if I was rich and minted, same thing. I would have another one.
Okay.
I'd probably have 2 more.
Oh Jesus.
I don't want to be outnumbered on 3.
4's a lot.
Think if I'm having 3, I want 4. But I would like to be in a more, like me and Con do well, but I would like to be like a Kim Kardashian. So I probably will not be having any more.
You heard it here, folks. She's done.
I want to be a stay-at-home mom, Pilates every morning, massive house, someone's actually, you know, cleaning the house.
Oh, that is the dream.
It's never going to happen, so.
It might.
It
might.
My
You never
podcasters might get me up there. They might say, Demi said she wants to go on Strictly, make it happen. And if you do, I love you. Come on, I am really intrigued in your
Oh yeah, so it was understanding German, doing a perfect impression of a sheep and doing the splits. Now what did you think it was?
I said German.
I said the sheep one, didn't I?
Did you? I thought you said yes.
No, I said the sheep one, and I was really bamboozled by this one because it was one of my best friends that said it, and I was like, I'm sure I could imagine her actually doing an impression of the sheep, and it was in fact the sheep.
Was it?
Yeah.
Has she got? Please say she sent an actual.
Oh no, she didn't.
Oh my!
I should have got her to do that. Yeah, but I knew. I just thought that's
I
such
thought
a
you
her
said
thing.
split.
No, I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I thought I said sheep.
Well, either way, they're both beginning with
Whatever. Yeah.
Not sh.
Well, either way, she can do a perfect impression of a sheep, and I'll have to get her to send me a video for it.
Oh
For
yes,
next one.
please. Please, because I was absolutely howling at our impressions of a sheep.
Meh.
Bleh.
To be fair, yeah, I could imagine her doing it. I was thinking about it.
I really was hoping that she was an undercover German spy or something. I was hoping for some, like, just, you know, when someone comes out that they can do something really cool and you're like,
She can.
what?
She can do a perfect impression of a sheep.
True.
That's really
true.
cool.
That is cool. That is cool. Like, I have a fun fact.
Oh.
I'm allergic to my own tears. I don't know if I've ever shared this on here. So when I cry,
What the fuck?
I come out like I've got hay fever, and they all swell, and I get this blotchy rash, and I can't see, and it stings.
And is it your tears that
my
cause that?
tears. It's like it's like the salt that comes out. Honestly, and it really burns, and then for about a week.
Are your eyes like red in that?
Yeah, it's horrendous. I have to take antihistamines. So I'm like, that's not my party trick. That's my cool. I'm a German spy kind of.
Oh yeah, that's my party trick. My tears.
Don't make me cry. I think that's why I'm a happy person. So
I was gonna say, because I cry a lot. I'm an emotional girl. I probably cry daily. Not over anything like devastating.
So for like Ian
I could
Bill.
just be no. Not over Ian Bill. But I could be watching TV or like something. What did I cry at earlier? Oh, I was at work and I was surfing the web, and I found this charity in Birmingham, and I cannot remember what it's called, but it was when I was looking at why the charity was called what it was called. It was because this couple they had a child that died from a disability, and then they wrote this lovely, like, what's the word? They just wrote something really nice, and it said like that they'd named the charity after their daughter because their daughter was amazing, and I literally just burst into tears.
Oh no, but that is sad.
But like I will cry at a lot of
like
things.
Did you cry at Barbie?
I think I did.
Oh,
I think I
actually
did.
Did I wowed up
Can't
at Bridget
remember.
Jones?
Still not watched it.
Oh, Also, update. The running has started.
Oh.
And I also, I don't know, the NHS sent me a letter, so we won't talk about that. But I went to a shop the other day for running shoes, and I don't want to say prolapse because I think that's when your arsehole falls out.
You mean pronate?
Pronate? Pronate? No, because I've had it before.
Because my ankle does the same thing because I've got
we
a
went
soft
red
tissue
then.
damage.
Did you see that?
No.
We went red.
I said damic then. Soft tissue damage.
Damn
I got
Damic.
soft tissue damage in my ankle and my ankle pronates.
Pronates. Right. So I went to this running shop because I was like, when I run long distance, I can do it. It's not my breathing or anything that stops me. It's my feet. It's the pain. It's, and I'd spent quite a lot of money on shoes. So I went to this shop and she put me on a treadmill and recorded me. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah. Revelation. So I've now got some new running shoes and your girl has actually started running.
And does it feel better?
It's a bit harder simply because I'm not used to the support. So it's actually like working my muscles, and I know it's working and it's not pain caused by like damage. It's like when you do squats kind of pain. So it's definitely working.
Yeah, it's because it'll be
just got to get it's pushing it back in. But how much I pronated was crazy. My leg was like that.
Yeah,
so that would be my
It's really
foot.
common, I just don't think any of us know how to walk and stuff anymore.
So guys, if you're thinking about running a marathon or you get pains, I highly suggest if you're in Birmingham, Sutton Run out, but if you're anywhere else.
Oh yeah, that's where me and Tom went. I work off of that high street.
Oh my goodness!
Were you there today?
Tom's office is literally there.
What?
Yeah.
In Boldmere?
Yeah.
I work in Boldmere. Oh, the guys work in Boldmere.
I'm looking for Boldmere.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where?
So if you was to go up towards like the Horse and the Jockey.
Yeah.
And Con's office is literally on that road as if you was coming off that high street up towards the Horse and Jockey.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm where the Weatherspoons is?
Yeah.
The road that goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the end of there.
It really is a small world.
That's crazy.
That is. So yeah, the running has started. I've got a bit more high hopes, although my dad's coming down the weekend.
Are we going to run together?
He will get me running the whole of bloody Birmingham, and I am petrified. I might just avoid him like the plague. So Dad, if you're watching this, I'll me him. So yeah. Right, so topic of choice today.
Yeah, right. I don't know why, but I just had this really horrible thought that I've not pressed record on the microphone.
Come on.
Let me just check.
Snap.
Oh no, I have. Don't worry. Sorry. Go.
Imagine.
I'm really
to be
panicked.
honest, this morning I panicked that I lost the bit on the camera to charge it, and I thought, oh no, imagine. But I found it. I don't often put things away. So, topic of choice today, we're going for
toxic relationships.
Toxic relationships, because if you haven't been in one, you know a story or you've witnessed one. So
I've been in one.
Yeah, same. I've witnessed.
I've dated a couple of twats, so
yeah, a couple of boys.
And I've witnessed. Do you know what? It's actually annoying how many people I know that have had toxic relationships. Why does this happen?
Yeah,
it's so unfair.
It's so sad because also, how does it happen in regards to? Now I know people have trauma and personal experiences and all stuff like that, but I could never dream of being toxic. Although I say that, but when me and Con were first together, we were both toxic. And it wasn't.
It's all coming out
No,
now.
we were. Do you know what we
Demi's
were?
toxic.
We were. And do you know what it was?
What?
Loving each other too much.
Oh.
No, genuinely.
Stop.
Genuinely.
That sickening. That is
ill. Cut that out.
I thought it was cute, and then now I'm like, that's actually kind of gross.
Honestly. But do you know why? I think when you're younger and you have that first love relationship, you don't understand how to love, and it's so overwhelming.
Hard,
and you're like, oh, I love that person. I love them. This is love. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't live without you. And I think everyone experiences that because it's the first ever feeling, strong feeling.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, I would love him that much, he would irritate me, and I would irritate him.
Oh my God.
For instance, I've obviously mentioned this before, I was cheated on. And then when me and Con first started dating, I walked into the club and he was dancing with his ex-girlfriend. And obviously for someone that's just been cheated on, that was a bit like, oh, okay, well, what's going on here then? And then he didn't really give me any reason to trust him then. So then I kind of took my baggage, and he didn't really, not that it was his issue to fix, but he didn't really try and, here she goes again.
First yawn of the app, everybody.
We should start counting. I'm going to start putting numbers. Number 1.
First yawn of the app.
So then like, I loved him that much. It just really annoyed me. The passion turned into anger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least you've come out the other end.
Yeah.
It's probably age as well, and the fact that you've had kids.
Oh, 100%. I think,
you know.
but that's when you know the difference, I think. Because we've all been in that first love. It drives you insane, literally. It makes you crazy. But those that then grow up and mature, we're not toxic people.
No, you were just young.
Yeah,
You were
exactly.
just young and navigating. We've all been a little bit cray-cray, you know, when we were younger.
100%.
But
It's just how...
when I'm just trying to think about my first proper boyfriend, and I don't think that was ever toxic. We were only 16, but we were we did go to school, like we did know each other for years. And
But did you love that person?
I don't. Oh God! I just touched it with my lips again. I did that last week.
She was cute. I'd hug her if she let me.
No, don't judge me.
Oh my goodness!
What?
We're both in stride.
She does this thing where she shouts and she makes me jump.
Look, it's what we thought about it. I'm sorry.
We
Go on.
didn't think about it.
I mean, toxic.
No, I don't think I did love him. I think we were just like, I just think I fancied him.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's that crazy, like, passion.
I have had the crazy, but probably not because I was in love. But anywho, I'll get onto my toxic stories in a little while.
So the reason why we thought we'd come at you with this topic of choice this week, we have had a lot of like feedback. I've actually had quite a few stories that have, you know, been about family or the workplace. The workplace has been a big one.
Oh really?
Really?
Oh, if we're talking workplaces, yeah, I got so many stories.
So we thought we could.
Yeah, it's not just like
episode it.
Relationship. It's overall.
So this topic might run over a few weeks because we've got some really juicy stories, but yeah. So that was one, and obviously, like I said, a lot of people have clearly experienced toxic relationships. And recently on Netflix, for those that haven't watched it, Gabby Petito.
I haven't watched it, but I do know about it. Yeah.
So for the background, for those that don't know, Gabby was a girl that went travelling during like COVID lockdown times, just as it started to ease. And she went travelling with her partner and they started doing a travel diary on it. And I actually followed Gabby on TikTok when she started this.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really weird time. So she started posting and then all of a sudden she went missing. But there was a lot of speculation around her partner.
I think I can remember her going missing.
Yeah, like she just put these videos up and like, you know what it's like anyway. People, sorry, I just touched you again. People
with your foot.
People conspire, and a lot of people were like, she doesn't look happy in this video. Where's Gabby gone?
And people sometimes are wrong.
Yes.
People like to hop on this online, don't they? But
absolutely, and a lot of theories come out that he killed her, and I'm the type of person, we spoke about this yesterday, didn't we, where I get consumed by the news. So when I started seeing this, I was like, no, don't think about the worst. I wouldn't do that. No. But in fact, these people were right.
Yeah, and he did.
And the saddest thing about it is, but also a really good thing, is if it wasn't for these like passerbyers and these TikTokers making videos, and although when you watch the documentary, there's a few people in there that I do think made the videos for their own views.
Oh, really?
But
That's
if
a
it
shame.
wasn't for them, would the...
Oh, why? Is that how he got caught?
So, yeah, so basically, sorry guys, let's go right back.
Sorry, I need a...
Yeah, so they went travelling, and one day a passerby had caught him hitting her.
Oh.
So they called the police and said, I've just been on highway, blah, 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 and I've just seen a man hit this woman. So then the police tracked them down and pulled him to the side. But then when they were speaking to them, she was really upset. And there's actually a clip in the Netflix series of her speaking to the police and blaming herself. Like, she just goes, it's me, I just upset him, I wind him up the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. But because he had scratches on his face, he gives this fabricated story, which you can tell it's all lies, of she's the problem. And because he had scratches, he said she hit me. And what's the saddest thing about that?
The manipulator.
Exactly. But what was sad was, in all fairness to the police, they were in a sticky situation because she admitted that she hit him.
Yeah, what can they do actually?
Exactly.
Like,
and she's there crying, going, it's all my fault. He's got marks on his face.
And he's blaming her.
Yeah. But they seem to have forgot. They got the phone call to say, oh, I've just seen a man hit a woman.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And do you know what's even more interesting?
What?
The police then say, we're going to give you a cooling off period. We think you need time apart, which, you know, fair enough. They send her to the campsite on her own and send him to a nice hotel.
Where in the world was this?
America. I don't know whereabouts in America. It does say on the documentary, but I don't know right here, right now.
That is
But yeah, so
strange.
he went to a hotel room. And look, I know, you know, equal rights, whatever and all that, and you might go, well, why should he go? But we're missing the point. They got the phone call. They were tipped off because number two, I'm sure that was your number two.
It was a yawn and I tried to do it discreetly, but you caught me.
I thought, yeah, the eyes are watering. But yeah, he hit her. That's what the people seen. And it was obviously enough for them to be concerned enough to call the police. We're not talking a little...
Yeah, I mean...
We're talking, oh my God, that needs the police.
Hit her, yeah.
Yeah. So then I thought that was really sad. And then, obviously, the travelling went on. They after the calling off period, they went back together and travelled more. And then he ended up murdering her.
And did he... is he dead?
Yes, he killed himself.
Yeah, I thought so.
But he left a journal basically saying that she was injured.
Oh, please.
And she asked him to put her out of his misery.
Oh, please.
But obviously the autopsy showed that he hurt her and then strangled her.
What a sick fucking truth.
But it's just sad because watching it, and this is why we thought we'd talk about toxicness, from my perspective, because obviously Ty hasn't watched it, it was really sad because he was clearly a massive manipulator and a gaslighter, that he made her feel so shitty in herself and so low that she felt like she deserved what she was getting.
Yeah, that is really sad.
Like, she literally cut off her whole family and friends to go travelling with him.
I'm gonna cry.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
See, this is... I will cry.
And I think it's a crime.
Oh, but it's really sad.
It
I
is.
don't like it.
It is, because I think, one, having children, and anyway, you can obviously understand how horrific that is.
Yeah.
But having children, some nasty human being has come along and took someone's child from them.
Oh, stop. I'm getting all like goosebumpy.
It is really sad.
It's horrible.
And I also think as well, like, me and Connor spoke about this quite a lot. I remember my mum and dad, when I first had a boyfriend, being really like, you know, we need to meet him, and being really protective. And I used to think,
And my parents were quite
he's
protective.
just a boy, he's just a boy from school.
We
He's
all get
normal.
boyfriends, you know.
But actually, how many times do you hear in the news, ex-boyfriends acid attacked, ex-girlfriends murdered, ex-partners done this?
Yeah.
And you know, it's not always men, women do it too. And you think, you actually don't know who you're getting in with. You really don't.
Yeah, there are a lot of like domestic and relationship like deaths and abuse.
Especially by ex-partner.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever hear about that story about the news presenter? I think it was a news presenter. I could be wrong. I'm really sorry if I'm wrong. But where he went home and his wife and his 2 daughters were killed by the ex-boyfriend of one of the daughters. Yeah. He killed all 3 of them. And the man is a famous, I think he's a TV presenter. I'm going to Google that.
Oh my god, no, not heard of that. Sorry, this isn't a true crime podcast, but we're just...
No, it's not. But we thought we'd give you an insight as to why we decided to speak about it.
Debbie was inspired.
Oh, it just made me really sad. Because watching it, and if you haven't watched it, obviously this is a trigger warning. It is a true story and it is really sad. But if you haven't watched it, I do recommend watching it because it's just... There's even behaviours. Now, this is what, from a psychological point, because I do have a master's. What
She's
really,
a professional.
I am. What really inspired me was, I think a lot of people will watch it, and even yourself, and I think you'll realise some of the behaviours that are shown by him that we've all experienced and deemed as okay.
Yeah, of course.
And just been like, oh, you know, like... I've been in a situation where people would be like, he's just, and I'd be like, no, it's okay, like, you know, it's the way we are. No, it's not okay.
No.
You're just blinded by love.
Or they just, they make you feel so worthless that you just accept it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you just think that that's
like,
just how
I couldn't have any better.
Yeah.
Like, Gabby, it's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm the problem.
See, my ex-boyfriend was like that. He didn't kill me, obviously, but to be honest, I wouldn't doubt what he would be capable of.
Okay.
He's like, so, what is the actual word? He is a narcissist, but he's so fucked in the head. Like, I cannot even, and I don't even want to say a lot of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I should on a podcast. I don't know. I don't know.
Do we need a trigger warning for that?
I don't know. But
I suppose it all depends how much you want to share.
Yeah, I won't
really
share like massive details, but like he really convinced me that I was the problem, and a couple of my friends met him, and even little things like I remember once what dinner were we having? I think we were having a curry.
Okay.
And my friend Izzy, we were all at uni, and my friend Izzy came to the flat, and she came in, and I said something like, this is just one small thing, and I said, oh, do you want a drink? And she was like, no, she had like a bottle of Coke or something, and then we sat down, and he was like dishing up dinner for us 3, and then he like slammed down the chips, and was like,
oh.
Do you want a drink, Izzy? Because someone didn't offer you one when you came in because someone's rude. And I was like, what?
What? And
like,
you'd not had an argument or anything?
No. And then Izzy was like, chill out. She used to back me. She was like, chill out. She did ask me. And he was like, no, she didn't. What do you want to drink? And she was like, she literally asked me, like, what are you doing? And then he was like dishing up the food. And then he like, I can't remember. I think he then was like making me do it because he was annoyed at me. And then he would be just weird. And then
he was completely fine before
yeah.
the training.
Oh. It's got very dark outside.
Oh, yeah.
But like that's just one very small.
See, because not that it's
incident.
okay, obviously, if you've had an argument or not, but obviously sometimes when people have argued and you walk into the room, you pick up that atmosphere.
No, we hadn't
but
argued.
the fact that
he was just like
changed.
That. No, he would just want to make me look stupid in front of my friends, and he would like he'd like try and portray me to be this horrible person in front of my friends. But obviously my friend is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and there was so many things. I mean, we could only have dinner at like the time that he chose, and it was always really late. It was always like 10 p.m. and then I wasn't allowed to go to sleep because he had insomnia. He didn't have insomnia. He literally made up so many things that were wrong with him, and he literally had nothing wrong with him. And I'm pretty sure he told me he had a nut allergy, and sometimes I'm like, I wonder if he lied about that too.
Should just fed him a nut.
Should have.
Okay, I'm joking.
Yeah. But so many things like, and then I'd be like, I really want to go to bed, and he'd be like, well, can't go to bed. So we didn't go to bed until like 3 a.m, and then I'd have to like go to uni the next day, and I'd be tired, and then he wouldn't let me like snack in the day. He wouldn't let me like eat what I wanted to eat. If he cooked the dinner and I didn't finish the entire plate, it was fucking World War Three.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
he would...
That must have been so scary though, in regards to like, obviously not wanting to upset him, because clearly every little thing was a trigger. So like,
Yeah.
what if you can't, you were obviously forcing yourself to finish food.
Oh, he made me this dish once, and I don't even know what it was. And I walked in, and the room smelt like whatever this. It was like some sort of stew thing, but it was like, he said that it was a different cuisine. Like, it wasn't a British stew. It was like something else, but it smelt really weird, and I didn't like it. And whatever the smell was made me feel sick.
Yeah. I hate that.
And he was like, oh, I've been making this for you all day. It's been in the oven all day long, like, and you're going to eat it. And I was like, okay. Couldn't eat it. I'm sure I made up some sort of excuse why I couldn't eat it. And then he'd made this huge pot of it. We had so many leftovers. He was like, oh, we can eat it for the next, like, 2 weeks. And I was like,
I thank you for my lunch.
God. Yeah, well, I did take some back home to my parents' house, put it in the freezer, but then I did say to my mum, fucking bin that shit, because it was horrible. It was violent.
And I understand that, because I cooked, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but the other day I cooked a steak Diane, I think it's called. The smell of it, horrendous. Like, kind of loved it. And it tasted okay, but the smell was that overpowering. It was like a creamy, intense smell.
I don't like those smells.
That, I literally thought, I can't eat that. And it put me off. But obviously, when you have autism, ADHD, things like that, smells and senses and all of that triggers it anyway.
And I didn't even know that I was neurodiverse at that point, because I only got diagnosed with ADHD recently. I actually really struggle with stuff like that.
And there you go.
And there we go. And
he was forcing you.
You are forced me to do so many
Do you know what?
things.
You saying that, you've just unlocked a memory for me. I remember when me and Con first started dating, I had a friend, and I used to go around to hers all the time, because she was one of my first friends to have a place of her own. And she had a child. And me and Con were going on a date, so I said, I met my friend, come and pick me up from here. And he was like, okay, once I'm ready, I'll come and get you from there. And her partner used to do really weird stuff. Now, for instance, my one friend came to me because she felt really uncomfortable, because if they had people round, he would make her go into another room and do sexual things with him. So like, my one friend was at her house and he made the other friend go and give him head. And I used to think, like, at the time I didn't think there was anything toxic going on. I just thought, clearly they don't understand that there's a time and a place, because I know some people are into kinky stuff. But like, he would be like, you've got your friend about. It wasn't even his place, bearing in mind, it was hers. It was given to her, it wasn't his.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I can't, I'm quite a prude, if you like.
Yeah.
I'm into it, but in my own comfort, with my own partner.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing it while Tyler's in the next room.
No,
I'm not that type of girl. And I just thought, okay, whatever. And then once, he come marching up the stairs and locked me and my friend in this room, going mental. And he was going mental because Connor was outside waiting for me. And he was calling me a fucking slag in my face and everything.
Why?
And
what a freak.
My friend was clearly that like triggered by him. She didn't stick up for me. And at the time, being young,
she was probably
I didn't realise she was scared.
Yeah.
I was just a bit like, are you gonna let him talk to me like that? Kind of thing. Obviously, at the time I wasn't wired up and clued up on all stuff like that. So it wasn't really a highlight to me. And he was literally in my face going, he's down there, rah, rah, rah.
So what?
It was because he thought, which actually did come true, that my friend had a crush on Con. Now she did, and she did actually try and get with Con whilst I was with him, so we are no longer friends.
Oh dear.
But it wasn't, it didn't, I can't remember words out today.
That's alright.
It didn't, his reaction wasn't necessary.
Of course
It
not.
come out later on that she had a crush on Con. He was just speculating and assuming at the time.
Right.
And I thought, you've locked two girls in here because her boyfriend has come to pick her up, and you're calling me a fucking slag.
Yeah, that's weird.
In my face. If you've got an issue, go down to him. Not that that's okay.
Could you imagine if Tom came to pick me up now and Con locked us in here and said, "What the fuck?
You've got a man outside of my house, you fucking say.
Could you, like... Well, it would never happen because they're friends, but, like...
Honestly.
What the fuck?
That doesn't
make any sense.
I was so scared. But, like, she always seems so... And now, even talking about it now, I feel really sad. I actually feel really sad.
Maybe she fancied Con because Con's a nice person.
Yeah.
Maybe
like,
she
what
just
she
saw
did to
that
me.
you had a nice, healthy, like, relationship, and she probably wanted it.
See, now, obviously she did screw me over. She really did. She told Con I cheated on him. I never cheated on him. But obviously her being my friend, Con was a bit like, well, why would a friend say that? And she was a bit snidey with the things that she did. So I was a bit hurt. But even sitting here reflecting on that story, I think, oh my goodness, that is a big red flag that was missed. I'm going to hold my hands up and I missed that. Like, being young, I didn't realise that she was clearly experiencing that every day.
And to be honest, she probably didn't even fancy Con. She probably just longed for what you had.
Yeah.
Because she was in an abusive relationship.
Mm.
And if you were like friends and she was seeing her friend have this great relationship, she probably thought, oh, you're so safe with Con, you're so happy with Con, like, I want a safe... that is probably why she fancied him.
And...
Not saying it was okay for her to do that.
No, but I agree,
when you reflect on it and you look back and you think, wonder why she behaved like that. She was being abused and you had a nice boyfriend.
Yeah. And thankfully we have spoke since.
Oh, yeah.
She's not with him anymore, thank goodness. And all is good in the world. But, like I said, even things like that, you really do miss. Like, the wool is pulled over your eyes. He would have pulled the wool over her eyes. And then I, like you said, I just seen her accepting it all the time. That I just thought, she just likes that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because some people like to be protected. That's borderline toxic, where people are like too possessed with you and they don't let you do things. But some people actually like that. Some people like to...
Yeah, but sometimes I think, do they understand...
That it's wrong?
That it's wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really hard to like...
And I don't know if you think or have seen this, but in some occasions I've seen where a person has gone from one toxic relationship to another. Like, you often find that when someone has toxic, like, family, like parents, they then...
It's all they know.
Yeah, they then like a toxic relationship. And I'm not saying that they're the toxic one. It might be that their partner is toxic, but they're
like drawn to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like an ongoing circle.
Yeah, it's because they've not been taught another way.
Yeah, like they're so used to it and they don't know that that's wrong.
And that's why it's good to raise awareness and bring attention to it, because
100%.
Not everybody does have parents that teach them or friends that show them, or people, like, not everybody has people to guide them.
And you know what, guys, one thing that I do also think, on reflection to that story and literally sitting here right now, if ever something doesn't sit right with you, and I know it's a hard one because we all know that when you're in a relationship, you don't often listen to the advice that you're being given. Like, if you were to say to me right now, don't really like Con, I'd be like, whoa, that's my husband. Yeah. So it is a bit awkward, but if ever you see something like that just doesn't sit right, call it out. Yeah. Call it out, because you don't have to be negative about it. You don't have to be horrible about it. Just like, oh, I noticed that said blah blah blah, because it might actually be a conversation opener for them to go, you know what, I'm so glad that you've noticed that. Learning. Yeah. Because I thought I was going insane. I pulled him up on it, and he said, no, you're overthinking that. And now that you've said it, it's made me realise I'm not overthinking.
Yeah, and it might not be abusive. My friend actually, she recently got into her first, like, real relationship. I know that's quite late compared to some people, but that's just the way her life panned out. And I think for the both of them, it's their first. Yeah, I think it's for him as well. It's his first, like, proper girlfriend, and she's asked me for advice throughout they've been together about a year now, and they are happy and they're great. Yeah. It's not an unhealthy situation, but there were, like, things where she would text me or she'd ring me and she'd be like, this has happened, blah, 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 and it would make me think of the kind of things that you would experience when you're 18, because she hasn't experienced it at 18. She's a bit delayed. So then I was able to be a bit of a like...
devil's advocate.
Yeah, and I just kind of guided her to think logically.
Yeah, because I do agree with that, because I've been in situations where my friends are putting up with stuff now that I'm like, that's playground stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said, if people are late into relationships, and some people are, they don't see that, and it's going back to that first love crazy.
Yeah, and this is what she's learning.
Again.
I said to her, like, you've got to remember that you're both now learning how to navigate a serious relationship when you've never had one before.
I think that's it, isn't it? It's that feeling of you are a person and you are an individual and you do not belong to anyone other than your parents, who only have a certain amount of hold over you anyway, especially as you grow up. That, like, you are your own person and you love someone so much that you're like, but you're mine. But it's having that line of, yeah, I am yours, but I am also me, and I am my own person. That you can't tell me I can't go out with my friends.
Yeah, oh God, if that ever happened to me. Well, it used to, but do you know what? I think I've gotten so used to Tom now, because Tom is great. And I sit there and think, God, if anyone ever told me I couldn't go out with my friends, but they did.
So common,
that did used to happen to me.
That happened to me as well. I've mentioned this before. I have a bit of a bad relationship with friends in regards to, I get really bad FOMO. And it comes from, I was in a relationship before.
Told me about this.
Yeah. I was in a relationship before where my partner secluded me from everyone. He was horrible to my friends. I loved him that much. I let him. And then he would say things like delete social media, blah, blah, blah. And I did. I obviously did. We've all been there. Well, not all of us, but most of us have. I'm not proud of it, but I've experienced it and I've come out the better way. And I literally lost every single one of my friends. Every one of them. And then when he was off cheating and doing what he was doing, I literally sat there like, okay, so what do I do now? And even my mum and dad had a social life. Like, even they were out together, and I'd be like, oh, I am literally the only person that's not out right now.
Oh wow.
I've got no one to call. And when I come out of that relationship, I realised I will never, ever, under any circumstance, leave my friends or befriend my friends again, because friends are so important.
Yeah.
Like, you need friends. You need them to offline to, and me and you, when we catch up, it's nice, and we'll have a little rant and a moan.
All we do is yab. I mean, I think this entire episode is just going to be yab.
So then I now have a bad relationship where I'm like trying to keep up all the time, trying to be with my friends and do this and do that, because I've been there where someone made me get rid of all my friends. Yeah, and it feels weird saying that, because you're like, well, no one can make you do anything.
They absolutely
But
can.
when you love someone, you will do anything.
Well, when they manipulate you, you believe them. You get consumed
100%.
by them. You think that you can't live without them. You think that they're your entire world. You think, oh my God, they're going to leave me if I don't do what they say.
But now I say to people, and this is growth, I love Khan and I want Khan, but I don't need him. Exactly. And he agrees. Like, he's like, I want and love you, but I don't need you either. If ever the worst was to happen, like, yeah, fine.
Can carry on
off you go.
doing life. Yeah.
Because we are so comfortable and in such a healthy relationship. What time are you? 42.
Oh.
Right.
We actually, do you know what we tried to do? We tried to structure this episode, and we've not stuck to it.
We have kind of.
We've not. We've just yapped. It's okay. We can yap.
We've done.
So what we'll do now is are you going to do what people have...
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stop talking about ourselves and we'll...
It's all me, I, self. Toxic! She's self-obsessed!
Do you know what? When I start talking about stuff like this, though, I feel like I could talk forever.
Same. Because we're so passionate about it.
Yeah. I could talk about my own experiences. And even now I'm thinking of all my friends and everything they've gone through, and then I'm like, oh, like... but I can't share everything.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, guys, like... We do want you to remember, if ever you go on a date and someone starts showing these traits, you can always go to the bar and ask for Angela.
Does it work, though?
Well, I seen a study recently, because I do look into this, and apparently some research was taken out recently where they'd gone to a few bars and asked.
And they didn't
And they didn't know.
Yeah.
But since that, There's been awareness raised where they have had to have mandatory training of Ask for Angela.
Right.
So I would like to hope that it is up and running and working. But there are also numbers and things that you can text on your phone, which we will add in the description of this video, that if ever that happens, you can go to. And again, if you are in a relationship and some of these ring alarm bells to you, we will link them below. But
and if you're going on like first dates, and to be honest, we're all guilty of it. I've met up with people that I don't know, and then people haven't known where I am, and I'm very lucky that I've came out of it, and I'm alive.
That's a big one, isn't it?
Always tell someone where you are, like always give your location, always, don't trust people. I say this, I met my boyfriend online, but I've also met other people online who have made me feel really unsafe, and I just sometimes I think back to those situations and I think, how the fuck am I alive?
And that's the way forward, isn't it? That's the world that we're living in now. It's like
and people are going to meet people online, and it's fine. I know a lot of people who have, and it's worked out. I have, and it's worked out. But when you do, you just need to be safe. Like someone needs to know where you are. Like you need to give your location. You need to give people updates. You need to, don't get in their car and don't go to their house straight away. And
it's just having that, isn't it? It's just having that cautious. Like I have on my phone, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you hold in the side buttons, it will count down from 3 to 1, and it will start alarming, and it will emergency call the police and your emergency contacts.
Oh,
so
really?
I have my dad, Connor, my mum, and my 2 brothers are my emergency contacts, so that if anything was to happen, the whole immediate family know that I am in trouble. Sometimes it's a bit annoying when I forget and it's like countdown and I'm like, oh, how do I get off this? But I'd rather have it than that. I think it was after that whole police officer story. So
right.
Yeah. So
such a shame.
Someone sent in, the guy was a manipulator. So long story short, I was seeing this guy. Everything seemed too good to be true until one day he was supposed to meet me at the train station before going to an event for his birthday. Bearing in mind that this event was in London, this person lives in Birmingham, so she's obviously got ready, gone to the train station to get to London. I waited and waited, rang his phone for him to pick up to say, I've just got to London, I sold your ticket to my mum, I hope you don't mind. I was raging. So I went back home and wrote the biggest paragraph out as to why I was fuming. He pulled the wool over my eyes, sweet-talking me and making false promises. I was naive and believed every word he said. A few days later, I seen him, we talked it out and everything was fine until later that night. I had a bank notification to say that £400 went out of my account on a betting website. He only stole £400 from my bank account to fund his gambling addiction. I pulled him up on it for him to say it wasn't me. I walked into my bedroom to see him using the exact betting website where £400 went out from. So not only did I get my £400 back, I also got his winnings. And then I said bye-bye and never seen him again. P.S. The little scumbag took a photo of the front and back of my bank card. That's how he managed to steal the money.
What a rat.
Disgusting. See, this is also rat. Though what concerns me, because it's not, it doesn't make it okay, as we was talking about earlier about like this toxic behaviour. But he's clearly got a problem and an addiction that's making him a toxic person.
Yeah.
Like he's not bothered about who he's hurting.
Because of his addiction.
Because of his addiction.
That's consuming him.
And that's why it's so important to see these red flags.
Yeah.
Because it just mind boggles me that someone can do that. Like, you're meant to love me, but you're stealing my well-earned cash.
That's mad, that is. I'd be so fuming.
And it's the fact that he has the balls to then sit there in her house
and do it after lying.
Literally.
How that again, he's so consumed by the gambling.
He just
does, it's like a tunnel vision, isn't it? It's like not excusing his behaviour, but that's all he cares about is himself and the gambling. So even though he's just lied to you and said that wasn't me, he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna. It's cockiness, I think, and it's like that narcissism. I'm gonna go on this website that I've just told you I didn't use,
but that's what
in the same household as you right now. He probably
honestly,
sorry.
That's what makes me so mad though, because I'm like, you're literally
audacity.
looking like, hey, fool.
Yeah.
Like, you might not
What a prick.
actively be thinking that, but you're like, ha, she loves me that much, I can...
Yeah, but he probably was, because he was probably a narcissist.
Like, let's be honest, you did not sell your ticket to your mum.
No.
So what did you
absolutely
do?
not.
That ticket probably sold both yours and hers to fund your addiction.
Yeah. And then proceeded to steal, because he just... Come back.
It's so sad. What would you say is like to wrap this section up, what would you say is like a toxic trait that sticks out for you? Sorry, I'm just spat at you because you love my germs. Do you know what mine would be?
I don't know.
I'm coughing on it now, COVID! Mine would be one thing that really rolls me up the other way, and even thinking about it now, it makes my blood boil, is when a person will gaslight you and nip and do things so wrongly to you that in the end you snap or you call them out on it, and then they act really innocent.
Yeah, like, oh my god, look what you're doing, look how you're behaving.
You've really hurt my feelings. You said this to me. I didn't deserve that, and I'm so...
It's because they're master manipulators, and they do it so discreetly.
That gets under my skin.
Do you know? Right, I actually do have one. Stonewalling. Do you know what stonewalling is? So my ex-boyfriend used to do this to me, and it's like the silent treatment. Now listen, it was like silent treatment on steroids, and it would fuck with my head. If I did something wrong, let's say I didn't eat the dinner because it smelled shit. He'd then ignore me, and he wouldn't just ignore me for 5 minutes. He would ignore me for days, weeks sometimes. Literally, we'd be in the same flat together, and he would just go about his life as if I was not there, and I'd be like, hello, can you talk to me now? And it would be literally like, talk to me.
Hello.
He'd be like,
hello. Or when they Ekin sued that in
but like
Island.
he would do it so extremely, and then one day he'd just turn around and go, you alright? And I'd be like, oh my god, after like being so anxious, not being able to sleep, crying, and I'd be like I'd beg him to please talk to me, and he'd just be like, not
it's
gonna
that
talk
power,
to me.
isn't it? It's like they know.
And then at a click of his fingers,
when I want to.
click of his fingers, he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, oh my god, everything's okay again, everything's perfect, and we'd carry on, and then he'd do it again, and again, and again, and again, and it would just be, but then before he would ignore me, he'd be really nasty to me. So like he'd like call me names, or he'd do something really nasty, and then it would be stonewalling me, and then that would be,
so
and
annoying.
then my head would be like the silent treatment thing.
And again, it's going back
healthy.
to that thing, isn't it, of making you feel like you're the issue. I remember once I'm the type of person, and this is why it gets really under my skin. A lot of things don't bother me. I'm not fazed by many things. Like, I'm quite laid back and just get on with life. But when you push and push and push, and I get to that point where I break, there's no coming back from it. I've lost my shit. You've crossed the line. And it takes a lot to get there. So if you've crossed the line, you've done something really bad. And I was in a position before where someone actually did that to me. And I ended up calling them a name. I just called them out for it and said, you're a knob. But because that behaviour is so unusual for me, and people aren't used to me calling people names or calling people out, I was treated as if I'd murdered someone. Honestly, like, oh my, did you hear what she said? Oh my. No. You did wrong. I've called you out. You're a gaslighter. No, toxic. So yeah, that's it for me. Riles me.
I feel like you're getting rolled up just thinking about it.
So guys, that is this week's topic.
Oh my god, no way is that an episode. I just want to apologise if that was quite scattered.
Yeah, but I do feel like the people will understand, because it's such a...
It's like
it's a broad...
It's a ranty topic, isn't it?
It's we're raising awareness. We have had a lot of stories sent in that we need to.
We'll talk about this on another episode as well, because I think there's
Especially the
there's
workplace.
so much to share, and not just relationships there, like you said, workplace. There's
Workplace is a big
parents,
one.
families, like I've had some workplace
Juiciness.
stuff.
So I think we'll definitely come back to this one. But like we said, guys, obviously we will link some helplines, but raise awareness, be aware.
Or if you are someone that is currently in a toxic or an abusive relationship, there is, I know it doesn't seem like there is a way out, but there is, and we'll link all of the places you can go for support, like Dem said, and then there's always, you know, even if you don't have anybody and you have been isolated, you can reach out to these places. But even if you've got a friend that you have been isolated from and you think you probably can't talk to them again, but you need help, you can still reach out.
I agree.
I've had friends that have done that.
Yeah, and same. I mentioned the story about me earlier. I literally secluded myself from all my friends, and honestly, the friends that
they will still be there.
They were there.
They might be a bit pissed off, but you say what's happening, and they will help you. Like
100%.
Well, I'd like to think they would. 9 times out of 10, they would. But.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, we would finish this section off with a question.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that every time. I think. We'll just
although this time I didn't send Tyler the question that we got asked. So
yeah, I need to prep because I can't think of things on the spot.
So today's question of choice is, and was sent by one of you lovely guys, how did you meet your partner? Tyler, you go first.
I did kind of say earlier, but I did meet him on Tinder. And I don't love admitting that, but it has worked out.
No, I like the honesty.
It has worked out and everything is great, but yeah, I did meet him on Tinder. And we had to go for a walk on our first date because COVID. And
ooh, risky. Could have thrown you in the lake.
There wasn't a lake. Yeah, do you know what? And this is what I mean. I'm a massive hypocrite because.
No, but I do agree. COVID. What else was you meant to do?
He did come and pick me up, and I did get in his car, and he was a stranger, and he did drive me to a national forest where I did choose, and we did go for a walk, and there was literally no one around. And what if he was a murderer?
Yeah. But like you said,
it's really hypocritical of me, but I've learned from my. Like, I look back on some of the things I've done and I probably shouldn't have met him on my own, but he didn't kill me and he's a lovely guy and it worked out.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wouldn't say you're a hypocrite. Like, yes, you did do it, but you are just showing that you're just making sure that people walk into those situations with their eyes open because we're all doing it. We're all going to continue to do it. It's just making sure that you've got that, you know, you got your running shoes on. Or just something like that. I know that's really silly, but just something that gives you that peace of mind.
Give someone your location. Say to someone where you're going. I mean, I think I did tell my friends. I did used to always tell my friends I'd be meeting someone, and I did used to give my location.
And like you said, the circumstance as well. What was you meant to do? It was COVID.
I know. I mean, stay in my house.
So mine and sorry, go on. I cut you up there.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Say, I'm just a yapper, just singing all over. So mine and Con's story is a bit different. Con is actually my best friend's cousin. So I have been friends with my friend since we were 3. So I grew up around and knowing Con. And then I split up with my ex-boyfriend and I seen Con in Lavana. So if you're from Birmingham, you will know what Lavana is because every man and his dog was in Lavana.
Even I know Lavana.
Yeah.
I'm not from here.
Unfortunately, it's not there anymore, which is really sad. But I'm too old to go in there now anyway.
Yeah.
And he come up to me and he was like, "Oh, how's your dickhead of a boyfriend?" Because they hate each other. And I was like, "We're not together anymore." And he was like, "What?" I said, "No, we're not
you did
together."
say this last week, actually.
And he went, "Good, because I've liked you for the past 7 years." And I was that night we spent all night together. And like, my friends left me and his friends left him. So that's a bit risky, but I did grow up knowing Con. And then...
can I just interrupt there? Even if you know somebody...
Yeah, it's true.
They can still be like a
Yeah,
dangerous,
like I didn't know
unsafe
him
person.
well enough. Yeah, and then so then I didn't go home with him. We both got a taxi home.
She says.
No, seriously. And then the next day I texted him and was like, I need to see you, because
Oh wow.
he was that lovely. And I had the best time. I'd laughed so hard that I was like, you have fucked with my head. I think I'm in love. Honestly.
It's the gingers, I'm telling you.
The gingers.
It's the gingers.
They're
Both
fiery. They
of
know
us.
what they want.
Yeah, my boyfriend's ginger, her husband's ginger. It's the gingers.
It is. So yeah, that is how we met our partner.
And how long
Partners.
have you been with Con now?
10 years.
10 years. Oh God, you.
She's a baby.
That is such a long
I
time.
know.
10 years.
2 babies, a dog, a house, and a wedding later.
Wow, that's amazing. I've only been with Tom for 4 years. But
That's still a long time.
and we're buying a house, so.
Yeah.
We're...
And by then, these years will just fly by, and you'll be saying 10 years.
When I'm at 10 years, how many years will you be out with Con?
You're at 4.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the maths.
Yeah, I can't do maths.
6 years between it, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I'll be 16 years.
That's, oh my God. That's such a long time.
Tap
I
out.
still find it weird to just say that you're married.
I know, same.
I just want to call him your boyfriend, yeah.
I do. Like, my hairdresser called me out the once and was like, I seen your TikTok video the other day. You called him your boyfriend. And I was like, I know. Because I feel young. And I am.
He is your boyfriend.
And I am young, yeah. And I'm young. That, like, I feel like I lose an audience of people when I say husband.
And
Because people
sometimes
my age are, like you said, are not married.
Sometimes when I talk about it to people and I say, because if people say to me like about us doing the podcast, how do you know? And I'll say, oh, our boyfriends are friends.
Yeah, all the time. We said it today.
Yeah, our boyfriends are friends. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not your boyfriend.
And
oh well.
me and Con often, like when I laughed the once, we was in Costa and I said, I wonder if people look at us and think, they've been together, you know, while they've got kids. Like, what do people think? And I laugh
playing that game.
because Con was in like tracksuit bottoms with black socks that didn't match, sliders, and I looked at him and I went, well, I know we've been together long enough for you to dress like that. And he started laughing. So, but yeah, I love that. So
I love playing that game. I love when we go out like to restaurants and stuff. I'm like, do you think they're on a first date? Do you think how long do you think they've known each other? I love it. I love playing that game.
So
Anyway, sorry, I'll stop yapping because we've run out of time.
that's a wrap for week 4, guys. Episode 4.
Sorry for all the yapping.
But it's a juicy one in a bit more of a, you know, important.
Yeah, it was a bit serious, but sometimes it got to be serious.
Yeah, and we've actually been asked for seriousness. Like, there's a few topics that you guys have asked for, and this was one of them. But keep sending your requests in because we do enjoy it. We do like it. We're obviously still navigating this. It is only episode 4. We are still new, you know. Oh my God, that means it's been a month. Happy 1 month, bestie.
Oh,
Do you want to
I'll
hug?
cry. No. Don't touch me.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.